you know what, bro? I'm getting to a point where, like, if I get the bag one day, I'm just gonna be checking for average looking women, bro, with a nice eye area. Forget about the 8, 9s, and 10s. At this point, I'm like, I just be satisfied with just an average woman with a huge bank account. Maybe I could be just fooling myself. Maybe I could be like, you know what? I might be thinking differently when I get the money. I don't know. But right now, I'm just like,
Wait.
at this point, it doesn't take much to make me happy. But maybe I'll be talking differently, once I get the bag. Maybe I might be talking differently. You feel what I'm saying? I might be like, you know what? I want the baddest bitch out here. Shit. I worked hard over the years. I chased the bag. I might be satisfied with just, an average woman, but I don't know, man. When you get money, when you get the bag, you be talking different. You be like, man, I'm all that in the bag of chips. I should get me a woman that's fine, I might be talking different when I get the bag. I might be like, yeah, I said I just wanted an average woman. But, these 8, 9s, and 10s just keep on hitting on me because I got the bag and shit. So it's hard to turn them down. The 8, 9s, and 10s, they pursue you, man. Once you get that money in the bank, whew, man, and then you start wearing designer clothing and you wearing Marc Jacobs, you wearing Gucci, you wearing Prada, all that other stuff. Once you start wearing all that goddamn shit, bro, 8, 9s, and 10s, they're gonna be knocking down your door, man. It's gonna be hard to stay with an average woman, especially if you felt like you struggled throughout the years so you could get that bag. In your mind, you be thinking like, man, I want more than an average woman. I fucking struggled to get that, man. I went through everything: homelessness, frustration, patience, all that other shit. I'm about to go out, but I gotta go get my pre-workout right now, though. My pre-workout. You know how I do it. Get that Rockstar as my pre-workout, and then we good. You feel me? But yeah, man. Let's start off by saying this, bro. Believing in yourself is a huge part of getting the bag, man. You gotta believe in yourself. If nobody else believes in you, okay, fine. Believing in yourself is a massive part of the journey, bro. Sometimes it boils down to like just you believing. That's it. Like remember I was telling you about the capoeira moves I kept trying to get down, and I wanted to get those moves so badly. And I did. Some of the moves I felt like I could not get it, but some of the moves I did get, and I believed in myself, and I got the moves down. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what it all boils down to, man. It's just believing in yourself, believing that you could do the impossible or the complicated, Or you feel me? Believing in yourself. Like right now, I can't do no moves now that I'm older. Like the Omada Doobly, I can't do that no more. Maybe if I trained hard enough, I could do it. But I don't see the point, man. At this point, I'm just happy with just defending myself. Forget all that fancy kicks in the air, flying through the air. I used to do that when I was in my 20s and shit, man. And it's like, that's fancy, it's pretty movements, you know, but is it really gonna count in a fight? No, it's not. You ain't gonna be doing that in a fight. All that fancy stuff. You feel me? Go in here and get me some, get a pre-workout. Hello. Oh, they got some NOS up in here. I want something different. Okay. Joke either. I just get a Rockstar and forget about it. Hello. Ooh, good thing it wasn't open. Ooh, man, that scared the crap out of me. Thank you. You know, I done heard like celebrities say before they made it, that was it. When it came down to it, when it all boiled down, they only believed that in themselves. That was it. That's the reason why they made it. I heard some celebrities say that. They said at the end of the day, it came down to it where only I believed. That was it. They didn't need anybody else. You know, it all boiled down to when only they believed. They didn't need anybody else to believe in them. And they accomplished the goal that they set out to accomplish. You feel me? You know, they set out, they accomplished the goal that they were set out to accomplish. You know? And it was long-term goals. You know, they didn't see nothing for years and shit like that. But eventually, because they kept going, they accomplished that goal. You know what I'm saying? You know. They accomplished that goal, and that's all they needed. They didn't need anybody to believe in them. They didn't need anybody to like ride with them. Only they believed. When other people, when they don't believe in themselves, bro, they don't accomplish anything in life. You know, when they don't believe in themselves, they end up in the same rut their whole entire life, never getting out. They never get out of that rut that they in, because they don't believe. You know what I'm saying? But when you believe in yourself, bro, you accomplish so much. You feel me? Like my first jackpot, I didn't believe that I was gonna hit that like that, man. I kept playing and then bam, small jackpot of 2 grand, you know what I'm saying? But I kept playing even though I was losing, it didn't matter. I kept going. A small accomplishment. That's a small accomplishment. When I was saving for Brazil, I did it within a 6-month period. Got my ticket to Brazil, saved some money, got the visa, and I did it. You know, I did it twice. I've been to Brazil twice, and that's hard to do, man, because you really got to save. If you really want to like go on vacation somewhere or live in any other country, you know, that's a hard thing to do because you got to really save. You can't go out eating at restaurants, can't go to bars all the time. Nah, you got to be in the house to save your money. And eating top ramen and hot dogs or just cooking your food and shit to save money so you could go on that trip in about 6 months from now. You know what I'm saying? You know, you feel me? A lot of the times, man, when I was doing capoeira and I was trying to get those moves down, it took a lot of practice. A lot of faith too, man. A lot of faith, a lot of belief that I could do those moves, man, and I did them. A lot of practice though, kept falling on my fucking butt, kept falling on my shoulder, my side, kept falling on my face, until one day, bam, I got it down. Took a lot of hard work, but I did it. You feel what I'm saying? You know, that's something you gotta do. You gotta believe in yourself. You know? You gotta believe that anything is possible, man. To have a positive mindset. So many niggas got negative mindsets, bro. That's what keeps them back. Is that they got a negative mindset. Instead of just chasing the dream and doing the work, they don't want to do all that. They want to sit back and whine and complain and talk about it's over and shit. Man, that ain't gonna do nothing for you, bro. Talking about that it's over and you ain't gonna compete, man, that shit is over for you, bro. That ain't gonna do nothing for you, but make your life worse. Sitting back not doing nothing will make things worse. You think I can afford to chunk up again? Hell no. I gotta get my ass out here and work out. That's what keeps Little Seven smiling at me. You feel what I'm saying? Oh yeah, by the way, Little Seven smiled at me again yesterday. Hell yeah. You feel that? You feel what I'm saying? Little Seven smiled at me again. Yeah. Yeah. She did it yesterday. I forgot about it, bro. I walked in and I was about to get my drink that I was ordering for my friend, because my friend, he be giving me free stuff inside the store. So the least I can do is go get him a coffee, a venti coffee from Starbucks, right? So I was looking at Little Seven, I was trying to catch her eye, and she looked at me and smiled. I was like, oh yeah, back to working out, baby. Back to working out. That's why I can't let this body go no more, man. You let yourself go, man. Boy, you are in for a rude awakening, man. You let yourself go, they gonna let go. The female's gonna let you go. That's one thing I learned. You chunk up, the female's gonna be looking at you sideways. Like, what happened? What happened to the body? What happened to that six-pack you had? I remember I got into a relationship with my ex-girlfriend back in 2000, and I don't know what, okay? But anyway, my last relationship, and we went to this wine festival or art festival or whatever over there in San Francisco. And I'm a capoeira guy in the past, right? The moment I stopped doing capoeira, I chunked up. So anyway, while I was in a relationship, I chunked up, and me and my ex-girlfriend, my girlfriend at the time, we went to this wine festival in San Francisco, and I bumped into a female that I knew from, my capoeira days and shit, right? And she looked at me, she saw how I put on weight, and she looked at me, she said, ooh, she was like, ooh, what happened to you? And I was like, ugh. I stopped training capoeira. She was like, what? You need to go back. For real, I ain't lying, bro. She said, what? You did what? You quit? You need to get to that. And she could see that I done put on some heavy pounds, had a beer gut, because I was with my ex-girlfriend, I just let myself go, man. When I was with her, I let myself go. I put on pounds. They don't like all that, bro. You let your six-pack go. You let what females like about you go. You can instantly come down from a 7 to a 3 if you chunk up. You feel what I'm saying? You automatically will be sub 5. You put on 30 pounds of weight, automatically that will make you sub 5, below average looking. Especially if you're not that tall. Especially if you're under 6 feet tall. You can't be letting it go your body, man. These females, they look at you, they give you the side eye, bro. For real. I'm gonna keep that shit a buck, bro. I'm gonna keep that shit a buck. When you let go of that body, best believe they ain't gonna be calling you no more. They ain't gonna be looking your way no more. You feel me? They ain't gonna wanna fuck with you no more. Cause you done turned into a whole different person. Big old pot belly that you didn't have before. Like, bro, you had a 6-pack. What happened to that? Remember I was telling you about the female that I was going to back when I used to go to massage parlors and stuff. And I'm gonna keep it a buck. I used to go there. But, every time I would go step up on that porch, every time I step up on the porch and she opened that door, she wanted to look up on my shirt and see if I still got the 6-pack. She was like, "Oh, you got the 6-pack?" She'll look at my shirt and I'll be like, "Yeah, it's still there." She was like, "Come on in." Bruh, you let go of the 6-pack, best believe I'm like, these females, they'll stop fucking with you, bro. It's the same thing with us, man. If we see a hot female that that was slim and attractive at one point, and next time we see them, they done gain about 1,000 pounds. We ain't gonna be one like them that much. You know what I'm saying? You guys don't understand. Weight does affect your looks by a lot. That's why I'm out here working out to try to keep some type of sexy left in my. I'm getting older. To keep some type of sexy about me, getting older and stuff, that's already working against you, man. Just being 45 with young females, that works against you, just your age alone. But if you're working out, you're keeping your body in shape, some of these females, they're gonna want to fuck with you. I'm gonna keep that a buck. Some of these females, they're gonna want to fuck with you, bro. maybe not like a whole lot like when you were young and shit, when you got like a bunch of young females, but at least you'll get a few that like you. You know, some of these women in their 20s and shit, they still liking a nice hot bod and shit, even though you older. You 45, but you got a six pack, you in shape, you got arms, chest, you know what I'm saying? You know, you got legs, you know what I'm saying? And most important is the six pack. I can't stress that enough. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do a whole lot of sit-ups today. What are we working on today? Are we doing sprints? I guess so. Yeah, we doing sprints. My double chin almost nearly gone, bro. I looking in the mirror. I was looking at one of my videos. I was like, oh shit, the double chin like 95% gone. Cause I've been working out, bro, and I've been fasting. I didn't have no food today. All I got is the Rockstar in my system. You know what I'm saying? Right before I'm about to work out. You know what I'm saying? And then my first meal would be around 2 p.m. or 1 o'clock or something like that. 1 p.m., 2 p.m. or somewhere around there. That's when I begin my first meal. You know what I'm saying? But I'm working out, baby. Trying to maintain some of this goddamn sexiness, man. And I learned a valuable lesson, man, is keep yourself up, bro. Keep working out. Believe in yourself. I never thought I can get Little Seven to even look my way, bro. But I believe that I could do it because I believe that I'm still a decent looking dude and women like muscle shit. You know, women like all that muscle and they like chest and arms and stuff, man. And her being Little Seven, she can't help but to look. She gonna look. I'm gonna force her to look because I'm gonna work that body game. You feel what I'm saying? When you got that body game, man, you know, as long as you ain't too old, like you as long as you're not like 60 or 70 or something like that, you got the body game, you know, they gonna look. You know what I'm saying? They gonna look. They young and stuff, but they gonna look. They gonna look. They're gonna, oh, here's an older sexy man right there, man. The older, handsome man. You know, he older, but he's still handsome. He's still good looking. You know, it's like some of these guys, these celebrities, you know, they get older. Like Dwayne Johnson and who else? Tyson Bedford. All these older dudes, they maintain their body throughout years and stuff. So women are still checking for them. Like as old as Dwayne Johnson is, they still got women out here checking for him, bro. He done lost the pretty boy face, but the main thing is they kept the body game going. They're still in shape. They working out all the time. So that keeps you in the dating world, bro. It's like your body game. You feel me? It keeps your sexiness throughout your entire life, man. Like, you know, because the body game is what females be liking. Why you think Little Seven finally looked at me after how many goddamn months? You know, back when I was chunky, she wasn't even looking my way, bro. I was like a motherfucking shadow out here, bro. You feel what I'm saying? I was just a dude just chilling. I was a fly on the wall. And then once I got that body game in shape and I lost the money, what am I saying? I lost the fat. Well, I lost some fat. All of a sudden, she does a double take at me. I was like, what? Little Seven, why are you looking at me like that? You getting that body game in shape, bro. The females, they can appreciate a good body, man, a hot body. Especially if you got the stomach in check, like you got rippled six pack, man, they go crazy, bro. They can't help but to be attracted to that. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You know, they can't help but to be attracted to that, bro. They can't help that, man. you know. But if you got a big old pot belly and you fat and out of shape, bro, you better have a whole lot of money, bro. Because you're going to have a hard time out here in these streets. Shit, I have a hard time even though I'm in shape. I still have a hard time. But I'll have a harder time if I was fat and out of shape, bro. Let's drink some water, man, because I don't want to injure myself. You still gonna struggle, even though you got the body game. You still gonna struggle, man. Even though you got the body game in check, you still gonna struggle because there's other dudes that got the body game in check. You know, but at least it gives you an edge over other men. That's another thing, man. You know, keeping your body in shape, it gives you an edge over other men who are not in shape. It gives you an edge over dudes who are under 6 feet tall, fat and out of shape. You know, it gives you an edge over them. You know, your survival is better. You can survive a lot easier. And, you know, I'm gonna let you straight up know. Sorry, I'm burping and shit. I'm gonna let you straight up know, like, Hellcat have let his body go like numerous times throughout my life. I'm always up and down in weight, up and down, I chunk up and I lose it. I chunk up and I lose it. But now, since I've been out of jail, I've been more consistent with the workouts. Because when I was in jail, I did push-ups and sit-ups every single day almost, okay? Doing push-ups and sit-ups, you know, some squats and stuff. And ever since I've been out of jail, I fucking been more consistent instead of just letting myself go and turning into a motherfucking chunky butt. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you lose your looks, man, when you lose your body game, bro. It's like the body game is, man, it's what draws women to you. It helps you. It's like bait. But the body game is like bait. When you're baiting for fish, when you're fishing and shit, you throw a worm on that motherfucker. You throw a fucking worm on that hook, man. And the little fish, they'll see that worm and they'll run after it and stuff, you know. And before you know it, you got them hooked, you know, on that hook. You know, feel what I'm saying? So that's why working out, man, and keeping yourself in shape is crucial and vital for dating, because that's what women like. And you ain't got a bad looking face either. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you might not be the most attractive guy, but you in shape. Maybe your face not, you know, you might not be the Chad or Tyrone, but you in shape. You shredded. Like push-ups, man, has got my chest swole right now. I be doing at least about 200, 300 push-ups per workout every other day. And I try to do the decline push-up to work on my upper chest cut, you know, on the curve right here. That's why I do my push-ups right here. I put my foot on this motherfucker right here, and I do the decline so I can have upper chest cuts. And then I'll do push-ups on the curves to work my lower chest, my lower chest cuts. You feel what I'm saying? So if you look at me, you can look at me like, oh, yo, that guy, he look like he work out. He look like he's in shape. He got muscles and stuff. And I forget that's something that females like. That's why you got shorty pants in there saying hi to me, passing by like a little 22-year-old chick. She like 22 and shit. You know, and all I gotta do is run game on her, man. When you got your body in shape too, man, Your confidence is up. You know, you know, because females give you that confidence. They give you positive feedback, man. You know, confidence comes from females. I don't care what nobody say, bro. You can't be confident if females are always putting you down. If females don't want to have nothing to do with you, bro. You can't be confident. You know, like you can't give an incel confidence, bro. He's not gonna be confident. A guy that's sub-5, below average looking, he under 6 feet tall, he's not gonna be confident approaching women. You feel what I'm saying? You know. No, women give you the confidence by the feedback that they give you. You know. So then you start being more comfortable with approaching women, because so many women done gave you validation on your body game and your looks and stuff like that. So then you feel comfortable approaching. You're like, oh man, I got validation from all them other females. These females might like me too. I might as well just approach them. You feel what I'm saying? You know, but when you fat and out of shape, man, you ain't got no confidence whatsoever, bro. They ain't trying to you know, they ain't trying to come at you at all, man. When you fat and out of shape, you get ignored, bro. You know what I'm saying? You are ignored like a motherfucking fly on the wall, like I said, bro. You feel me? So a lot of times you gotta understand this, man. We gotta work twice as hard as the dudes who are 6 foot, Chads and Tyrones. You know, Richmond. If you broke, you could at least have your body game in check, bro. You can't be lacking in all areas. You're broke, fat, out of shape, under 6 feet tall. You're working all that against you, bro. That's working all against you, I mean. You got so many strikes that that you struck out. You feel what I'm saying? You're fat, out of shape, that's strike 1. You're under 6 feet tall, that's strike 2. You know, this is the reason why a lot of guys struggle. You're fat, out of shape, strike 1. Under 6 feet tall, strike 2. And then you're broke, strike 3. You're out. You're done for. You're finished. You know, you're finished, bro. But as long as you got your body game in shape, bro, some females, they don't care if you got money or not. They just want to ride the horsey. They want to ride the 6-pack. You know, you might not get a long-term relationship because your money ain't straight, but you'll get some short-term pleasure though. You feel me? Yeah, no. But the body game is important, bro. Just remember that. For all you guys who don't think it's important, man, think again, bro. You know, I got little shorty pants walking by saying hello to me every time she passed by, from the cafe over there. You know, at Starbucks. This is shorty pants. Shorty pants number 2, not shorty pants number 1. Shorty pants number 2, the one that's 5'1". She's around 5'1". You feel what I'm saying? She's taller than the original shorty pants, but I can see that she digging me and she like me. I like her too. She got a nice eye area, nice eyes, easy to look at. You know, she's short though. You know what I mean? That'd be kind of hard for my children and shit, man. If I did have kids with her, you feel me? But she would be perfect for Miss Right Now. You know, I'll date her. Shit, I'll hit that coochie too, man. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think long term. I don't think so. I don't think so. You know, that's what we got to do, man. You got to understand, man. Life is all about the strongest. And there's a pecking order. I'll go back to what I was saying, like in my last video. There's a pecking order in the human race, just like it is in the animal kingdom. You feel what I'm saying? And the strongest males are gonna survive. You feel what I'm saying? The strongest males, the males who are out here putting in the work, they building shit, they creating stuff, they're gonna survive. And the weaker males will perish. That's the way it is, man. Only the strong will survive, man. That's why you got these seagulls, man. You see how like the bigger male come around and punk them for their food. You know, if there's food around or whatever, the bigger male will be like Debo coming around, like brick yourself, punk. These are my chips over here. Remember what I was telling you about the dominant male, how he saw a pile of chips and he went over there, he checked the other seagulls like, you ain't coming nowhere near these chips. These are my chips. This motherfucker ate them chips one by one in front of those seagulls, in front of their face, and they couldn't do nothing. They all stood back while he ate his meal right in front of them. And then whatever crumbs that was left, the smaller, less dominant seagulls came along and ate it. You know what I'm saying? Like the little tiny crumbs that the bigger seagulls didn't want. They came along and they got it. Yeah, that's just the way the pecking order is, bro. It's in the human race too. See, our pecking order is either looks or money and status. You know, if the guy got a bunch of looks, he's the top of the food chain. He's gonna be able to pass on his genetics easier. You know, he's 6 feet tall. Chad, Tyrone, they're gonna pass on their genetics with ease, with no struggle. You know what I'm saying? A motherfucker who's rich and successful, he at the top of the pecking order, bro. You know what I'm saying? He get to eat. He eats first, and then the weaker males, they eat last. They get the crumbs. They get what's left. Just like the Diddy thing, you know. Diddy is at the top of the pecking order when it comes to finances and money and status. And Chad, the broke Chad, the aerobics instructor or the exercise instructor or whatever, or a personal trainer or whatever for Cassie, he's at the bottom when it comes to finances. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he might be better looking than Diddy because he's Chad, right? But he still didn't have the lifestyle that Diddy had. He was just a personal trainer, right? Made only a few $100,000 a year, you know? But he got her last. He didn't get her first. He got her last. Same thing in the animal kingdom, bro. The bigger, most strongest lions, they eat first. The hyenas, they come along and get the scraps, whatever is left. You want to be at the top of the pecking order, man. Even if you're not physically, superior. If you're not physically superior, you want to work on your money, so that way you be at the top of the pecking order. You feel what I'm saying? That way you're not starving for like scraps. You feel me? You know, so you might not be physically all appealing to women, but your finances, the bread is there. You feel what I'm saying? The lifestyle is there. That's what you need to do. Diddy is not 6 foot. He's like 5'10". I checked his height online. He's 5'10". So he felt like, damn, I'm not 6 foot. So I gotta make this money, man. I gotta get Biggie Smalls out. I gotta become a music producer to get these type of women that I like. Cause probably in high school, he was probably getting rejected by women that he liked. And he was just like, man, we gotta make this music work. I'm getting rejected by these women. These top tier women don't want to have nothing to do with me. You feel what I'm saying? He saw it earlier that he was gonna be struggling with females because he was under 6 feet tall. You know, he wasn't buff or nothing. He was real skinny. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of them females that he liked didn't like him. That's why he became a music mogul. That's why he became a songwriter or a hitter. He didn't write no songs, but he's behind everything, man. Now he Diddy at the time, And he's still at the top of the pecking order, bro. That's where you want to be, bro. I don't want to be at the bottom eating scraps for the rest of my life. I want to be at the top of the pecking order. Where I come along and I eat first, and you get what's left, bro. That's how it works, bro, in the pecking order, bro. For real. You know? The pack of lions, bro, they gonna eat first. And then the hyenas, they come in, they eat the scraps. And boy, they eating the scraps like they hungry. I seen that one time on a nature show where there was a bunch of pack of lions just tearing up a wildebeest or whatever. And then they was all full. And they left the scraps for the hyenas. The hyenas kicked in the door. Boom! Give me those scraps. We're hungry like a motherfucker. Boy, and they was even fighting over the scraps too. I seen it. They were fighting over scraps. They do that in the in the human kingdom. You know, like remember I think it was there was two passport bros that was fighting over scraps in Thailand. And yes, scraps, women with children are scraps. I don't care what nobody says, bro. Single mothers are scraps because you didn't get them at first. You got them later, after the bad boy was done with them, after the Chads and Tyrones were done with them. So passport bros, two passport bros, one Pookie, and I don't think the other one was a Pookie. You know who I'm talking about? Can't think of his name right now. I don't really follow these guys, man. Game Abroad. Okay, so it was Game Abroad and this other Pookie who was fighting over the girl that he's with right now. Nah, or whatever her name is, right? So they getting online, they going back and forth. You know, this Pookie got Nah in his video, sitting right next to him and shit like that. And she looking like she bored and shit. She was sitting there, you know, and he was making a video just trying to expose like the women in Thailand and how easy it is for you to get their woman and stuff. And they was going back and forth over a female that had children by another man in Thailand. And the pecking order still exists to this day. I mean, look what like a lot of passport bros are getting. They're not getting like fresh meat, bro. They're not getting like top of the food chain females. They're getting what's left over. I hear this all the time when I'm in, you know, some of them goddamn leftover women channels, and they talking about black men coming over there dating, you know, the Asian women and stuff. And they'll say, oh, they ain't doing nothing but dating leftover women. They ain't really getting that you ain't getting the top of the food chain females out there. You're getting what's left. Think about it. What's his name? Richie Mack, he's dating a single mom. Okay, woman in her 30s, past her prime. And who else? You know, Game Abroad, dating a single mother. A female, I think she in her 20s still, I think. But still, she's still a single mom. He wasn't gonna get her before the kids, man. A lot of these females, they only wake up and smell the coffee and start dating black men when their own race of men do not want them. But before, you know, they had kids by their own men, they wasn't checking for you not at all, bro. They only come to you when they're forced. And I see this time and time again. Time and time again. You know, like, man, you're not really getting the cream of the crop. You're not getting, you're getting women with children. You know, let's drink some more of this water and some more of this Rockstar. Gotta water up, gotta rock star up. So you're getting what's left. You're not getting grade A, top of the food chain, young females in their prime. Nah, you get them after the Asian man is done with them. After he done had his kids and left her to be a single mother, you get them afterwards. Okay, you get them afterwards. You don't get them before. And then, see, that's why I said that's when the pecking order come in. You getting what's left. So you the weaker, less dominant male gets what's left. And some dudes are good with scraps. Some men are not, man. Some dudes, they live off scraps. They're like, okay, well, I'll just take this. He threw the chicken bones out. He threw the maybe the fat that was on the meat. He threw that out. I'll take that, man. Don't worry about it, man. Give me this. Give me them scraps. Oh, these scraps taste good. And he'll keep on getting scraps. He'll keep on getting leftover scraps and just, you're like, this is all was good, man. He'll never get the tight female that's young in Thailand. The 22-year-old female with no children, he gonna have a hard time getting that. They ain't checking for you until they become leftover. You know, I see this time and time again, though. I don't consider, women with children the top of the food chain. I don't consider that stuff, man. Women who are at the top of the food chain, they ain't in their prime. They 22 years old, no children. You can start fresh with them. Start a brand new life. Right? Start fresh. That's the top of the food chain. That's what's, good. That's why the bigger lions come around and they get to mate with them and have kids with them first. And then what's left, you get them afterwards. It's like, oh no. You gotta fight to get you gotta fight to get grade A stuff that's not been touched. Women who got no kids at all, that's the top of the food chain. So by you accepting scraps and stuff, when you accept scraps, that's making you the lesser male. You feel what I'm saying? Like the bottom of the barrel, bottom of the pecking order male, man. Is that you accept it? You say, okay, he had kids with that. He had kids with her, man. But I'll take her, man, because I need to get my dick sucked and stuff. I need to have sex on the regular. Yeah, I'll take them scraps looking good right now. She got a fat ass too. Ooh. And then by you taking that all your whole entire life and thinking that you don't deserve better, it makes you the less dominant male. You're not at the top of the food chain in the pecking order. You know what I'm saying? I see this, like I said, I see it all the time with these seagulls and stuff. I see it time and time again. We gotta get some more water. I see it time and time again with the seagulls. The bigger dominant male, he come around, he eat first, and you get the scraps. Now there's more than just one dominant male, in the seagull with the seagulls and stuff. There's about several of them, and they eat first. They coming around, they eat the bigger chips and stuff, the bigger pieces of food. And then the less dominant male, they sweep in and they get the scraps, they get the crumbs on the ground. The bigger seagulls, they didn't want the crumbs, they want the biggest piece. You know what I'm saying? Why is nobody saying nothing in the chat room? There's something going on with my chat. I'm giving you the scoop on game, bro, how things work in society and in the animal kingdom too. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm about to work out, man, because I'm running my mouth too much. I really don't have to fly a sign yesterday. I made some good bread yesterday. I made almost 200 bucks within a few hours. You know what I'm saying? So uh, that's what I'm fighting for, man. I want to be at the top of the food chain and be able to pick the best shit. And like I said, man, before, sometimes I be woofing that shit. Maybe I just want an average woman. But, bruh, once you get that bag, I guarantee you're going to change your mind about the average woman. You're going to be like, if I can get a better looking woman, shit, you're going to go with her. A woman with a fat ass and some titties, and she young, and she ain't got no kids or nothing like that, bruh, you're going to be looking over them average women, and you're going to want that one. Don't fool yourself. And I made a video, was it yesterday? Talking about, yeah, I might be checking just for an average woman. And when I get the bag, I said, man, I thought today, I was like, bro, who you kidding? Who are you kidding, bro? You're gonna want to get the biggest piece. After many years getting the smallest piece, or what's left over from the meal, basically the scraps, you're gonna want to get the, you don't want get the biggest piece for a change. You're going to be at the top of the pecking order, bro, when you get the bag. You feel what I'm saying? You're going to be checking foods. Just like that seagull came along. That shit was so funny, bro. I thought it was funny. When that bigger seagull came through, right, and he landed, and then all the smaller seagulls were surrounding the chips, right? And he came along, he went to one seagull, he checked him, and he went to the other seagull and he checked. It was like Debo, bro. I swear he was like the Debo seagull, bro. Like he was checking. He went to every single seagull and checked every seagull in the circle. Ran him off, scared. He'll run up to him and run him away. You know what I'm saying, from these chips. And then as they were like further back, they were still surrounding him. And he looked at the chips. He bent over and he said, okay, now which one I'm gonna eat first? Okay, this one. And they were sitting back just watching, bro. Like the other seagulls was like, man, we can't do nothing. He's eating all the chips. Let him have it, man. You see how big he is, right? I'm not going over there. And he was like, let's see, one chip right here. He took his time eating them chips, bro, right in front of the seagulls, bro. Now, the other seagull on the other side, because I had 2 piles of chips. The other seagulls, the smaller seagulls, they was eating the crumbs. For real. And the bigger seagulls, they don't have any like interest in like small food. They always want the bigger piece. You feel me? They're all the bigger seagull. He always wants the bigger piece. He'll take the biggest pieces of chips and leave the little stuff behind for the smaller seagulls and shit. Chad Seagull hogging everything up here. Chad Seagull. For real. Hey, for real though, bro. That's him. Chad Seagull. And that's how it is in the human race, bro. Like the bigger most dominant male come around and eat first. But anyway, I'm running my mouth way too much, man. You guys have a good day, man. I gotta work out. I'm gonna keep running my mouth too much. You guys have a good day. It's already been an hour already. Peace out, take care, and bless. I'm out.